The Mac Daddy make you jump, jump. Before I fully start this video, you know what I'm saying, I just want to ask you for a little favor. A little favor, nothing too much. I don't ask for much. You know what I'm saying? I don't ask for much. Hit the like button before we start. That's it. That's it. Hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? Comment a globe emoji. Only takes a couple seconds. Only takes a couple seconds, you know. Just trying to help get the videos push more out there to other viewers so we can just continue growing every day. Mars fam, 2023 is the takeover. We definitely going hard, you know. But today, we got another music vibe video. The heartbreaking story of KRIS KROSS. Um, I ain't got too much to say. So, without further ado, we're gonna get straight into the video.
The youngest successful rappers in history of music. How old are you, both of you?
Both 13.
Both 13.
Yeah.
How surprised are you that here you are? I mean, in such a short time.
Worst thing for me is I can't please all my girls, all the girls out there.
Oh shit!
I'll help you out. Call me if I help.
In this video, we will talk about the KRIS KROSS duo, who every kid was crazy for. The guys who set the trend to wear their pants backwards, which Eminem even referenced in the song My Name Is.
Got pissed off and ripped Pamela Lee's tits off and smacked her so hard I knocked her clothes backwards like Kris Kross.
Both of their names were Chris, so naturally the Chris portion of their name made a lot of sense.
Where they at now?
But where did the cross come from? According to Chris Smith's mother, it was from a name that Kelly himself earned when he was a few years younger. Per a 1992 Washington Post profile,
Wasn't there a house
Smith's
party,
parents
I think,
recalled that
2?
Kelly loved
I think
applesauce
it was
so
2 or
much
something
that
like
a
that.
teacher affectionately called him Chrissy Crossy Applesaucy. How did they choose their names? Kelly chose Mac Daddy and Smith was Daddy Mac. It essentially originates from Mac, a term that signified a man that gets a lot of women. Jermaine Dupri, one of the most influential producers, met the two boys at the
I've heard.
Greenbrier Mall in Atlanta. He was looking at how random people reacted to the boys. The girls behind the counters were behaving as if they saw them on TV. They were going crazy screaming. He saw two
Starstruck.
obviously cool boys getting free cookies from the girls who worked there. A curious Dupri approached them, found out that they were only 11 years old, and asked what they were doing to attract such attention from girls in the mall. As Dupri recalled, Daddy Mac said, "We're just cool." KRIS KROSS represented something Jermaine Dupri had never seen before. You gotta understand people out there, KRIS KROSS weren't rappers. They weren't kids walking around with demos. They weren't trying to be rappers. They weren't trying to be singers. When I met them, I said, "What do y'all do?" Dupri explains, "We just cool." I was like, damn, get these guys a record fast. Which means KRIS KROSS weren't eager to make music and didn't even consider it possible. But everything changed after.
Yo, somebody, please, if you watched up to this part of the video, please tell me his name right here. Right here. He done did a lot of interviews, and he done been on Voice Music Box. I forgot. I think it's Voice Music Box. I think it was on Bounce. It was on Bounce, that was the channel. Somebody let me know his name.
They made the track Jump.
Yo.
The song stayed #1 on the Billboard chart for 8 weeks, and in addition, it was the third best-selling song of 1992 in the United States, with sales of 2,079,000 physical copies in the same year. Next, they released their debut album called Totally Crossed Out, which sold 4 million copies in the US alone.
Just so young. Crazy.
Have you any idea just how successful you are?
Well, I mean, we try not to think about that kind of stuff.
The duo introduced the trend of wearing pants backwards. They were fanatics of wearing clothes backwards, from t-shirts to jeans and caps. The debut album cover shows the pair with both their jeans and New York sports jerseys on backwards. Their video would also be a poignant
imagine if
example
somebody
as to
did
why
something like
many
that
other
today,
people in the
in today's
90s
time.
began sporting their clothes backwards. They were such a force in the trend that they are almost always cited as the creators of it.
How does that work when, like, you gotta pee? How do you do that?
We just unbuckle our belts because our pants are
And
so
it
big and
drops down,
Yeah.
and it works. Okay, you don't have your shoes on backwards, by the way.
Nah.
That's it. One thing, you're still at school or not?
We have tutors on the road with us.
DJ Smurf, for example, saw a bunch of guys at his college who wore their clothes like that, and it was the undeniable influence from the song Jump, even though many of the Atlanta scene weren't fans of their music, but the guys didn't care. After all, they met Michael Jackson in 1992, and even went on tour with him.
Yeah, they definitely was a cool team.
When they toured with Michael Jackson, they didn't feel like they were at the same level, even though they were already making millions in sales. They did not realize the full extent and scope of their success. But for them, first of all, it was fun, so there was not much stress.
Damn. While we was out there, we just kicked it, you know, had a little fun, played a little basketball.
Yeah.
Man, rest in peace, Michael Jackson, man. That was definitely one of my favorite artists. If man, that nostalgia just hit. Michael Jackson game on the Wii. Damn, time flies. Crazy.
Really, that was it. But you know, it was pretty cool. You know, we just talking about a lot of different things.
Sure.
Pertaining to music business and stuff like that.
The guys were covered in fame and glory and won awards one after the other.
First of all, we want to thank God for making all this happen.
We're just gonna try to make the album better than the first one.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In 1993, they released an album called The Bomb, which was successful, but despite trying to make the second album better, it was not as successful as the first release.
I know you hear me coming, so you best to watch your back.
I think when it comes to stuff like that, I don't think that should be your focus. Really, if you do music, just go with the flow. Go with the flow. Don't try too hard. Like, if you're not gonna be like a super lyrical rapper, just go with the flow. Like, as you see in today's time, like a lot of people that don't try and they just go with the flow, it wind up being a hit, you know. If that's not your lane, being lyrical, just go with the flow of, you know, the vibes of what's happening in the room. It's me, it'll be a hit. Like Lil Yachty Poland. When I first heard it, I was like, But then I was like, I thought about it from like a music aspect, and I was like, yo, this song gonna hit. People gonna fuck with it. Because the first part is catchy, but
And in 1996, they put out their third album. Despite some positive reviews, Young, Rich, and Dangerous was KRIS Kross's least successful album.
Slacking, back patching up my turf, cause after me was a factory of worse after worse. 1 2 1 2, mic check 1 2 1 2.
The group separated sometime after their third album and went on to solo careers. Many people believe this is due to the fact that the guys have grown up and their voice became more mature, and the vibe was just not the same. And so Kelly and Smith began writing and producing albums.
You must be tricking, and that's crazy. You better get it right. Tell them what they hear just to get it right.
In 2007, the group reunited and were working on different projects, still working for Jermaine Dupri.
She inspired to her song, a lady. She displays beauty through and through, a lady.
In 2009, photos appeared that show Chris Kelly with several bald spots. To dispel rumors that he had cancer, Kelly announced that he was suffering from alopecia. In the meantime, Mr. Kelly studied audio engineering, ran a small record label, and owned a daycare business with his mother. During the lean years, Mr. Kelly could get frustrated, said DJ Nabs, the group's DJ and a longtime friend of Mr. Kelly's. People looked like they turned their back on him. Chris Kelly had his own label called Seco Records. KRIS Kross reunited for So So Def's 20th anniversary concert in early 2013.
Investigating the death of Chris Kelly. He's best known as half of the 90s group KRIS Kross.
On May 1st, 2013, Chris Kelly died of a drug overdose that included heroin and cocaine at the age of 34.
I had told you though, you know how I party.
Man, I don't want to hear that, man. You know I don't want to hear that, bro.
I know, man. I apologize.
It's all
Damn, I didn't
Kelly
even
died
know.
in an Atlanta hospital after he was found unresponsive at his home, police said. The Fulton County medical examiner concluded that Kelly's death was an accident caused by the combined toxic effects of heroin, cocaine, ethanol, Xanax, and Vicodin.
Damn.
After paramedics took him to the hospital, a woman who identified herself as Kelly's friend told an investigator that Kelly had taken a mixture of heroin and cocaine the night before, and that she had brought Kelly home to recover from his drug use, according to a police report. Chris Smith told how he felt when he found out about the death of his close friend. "You just kind of freeze. For me to just look back and think about it, I just froze. I probably froze and the whole world just kind of went silent. I really don't remember anything too much from that moment that I first got the news. I don't remember a whole lot after that, cause your mind just goes. I just locked myself away and I didn't want to be around anybody. I tried to absorb it the best I could. I never lost anybody that close to me in my life. Somebody that every day of your life, we were brothers."
I could say KRIS KROSS forever, but I know without Chris, my life, it ain't gonna never be the same.
Yeah, that should be hard, man.
But I just hope our legacy for hip hop is never forgotten.
I know I
do
won't
my
forget
part
it.
though to make sure Chris' memory live on.
Christopher Smith started to focus on other endeavors. He does not disclose information about his personal life. If he has a family with kids, he never mentions them in interviews or in articles featured about him. He also continues some aspects of his music career going. I recommend you check out the next video about how 50 Cent trolled his opponents. Thank you all
Man,
for
Music
watching.
Vibe, you keep
Subscribe
pushing
to the
that
channel,
video.
and I'll see you soon.
Let me stop. Shout out to you, Music Vibe. Definitely crazy, man. When it comes to music, I'm old, so I know a lot of old school songs, like talking way back. Tent City, Devotion, I swear I never cheat. Man, I know a lot of songs, but I ain't gonna hold y'all for too long, man. But one message I do want to leave is, forgot to say it in my other videos. I think a lot of people in today's time are going through a lot of trauma, and the trauma stems from like way back then from our parents' parents. And a lot of people don't really notice it and don't get the help that they need. Trust me, it's okay. For real, that's how a lot of toxic relationships start, and that's how it became so normal and all that, because a lot of people don't know how to deal with their trauma and they get in relationships thinking that it will help, and it really don't, you know. So before you go to get in a relationship, whether it's just friendship, actual relationship, you know, heal yourself, you know, focus on yourself, build yourself up, you know. But if you can take on a relationship and be mature and, you know, grow past your trauma, or lean on that person to help heal you with your traumas, then by all means do so. You know, a person that's very mature and can push past a lot of things, you know, because you can't worry about yesterday. You got to focus on today, because you can't make a change, you know. But with that being said, love is love. Mars fam, I love y'all specifically. If you new, hit that like button, the subscribe button. If you came to this far in the video, you like the message, drop a globe emoji. Being said, keep dropping these videos for y'all, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video.